We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. As if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Silence! The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
With Jason Bermas.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, October 5th. There was no zombie apocalypse yesterday. I didn't drop dead of a heart attack. There were no nanoparticles nor graphene oxide activated in my body, and I surrounded myself with devices. Forget about not shutting things off in my house. As promised, if you tuned in yesterday, by the way, the alert went off early on my device with the SIM card and then late on all the other devices that didn't have SIM cards. In fact, for a second there, I didn't think that the alert was going to come through on those devices. But already, tons of stuff. Didn't shut anything off in my house. I'm not part of Imagination Land. Okay? I think the whole thing was completely and totally ridiculous and destructive. And for a lot of reasons. All right? You know, just to kick it off, because today's show, let's see how emotional I get. We're going to try to keep the emotions in check. But today's show is really going to show you reality rabbit holes and totally and completely delusional narratives that are set up not only to placate you, really make you inactive and hope for somebody else, but later demonize you, okay, destroy you, and possibly persecute, prosecute, and imprison you, okay? This is real behind me, okay? I want everybody to take a nice, hard look at this. This is a reality, okay? This isn't made up. This isn't Photoshop. This isn't something somebody put together meme style, going, those naughty Proud Boys. No. This is establishment, mouthpiece, and prolific media industrial complex outlet, Newsweek, showing you what their next cover is. The Enemy Within. Exclusive. The FBI targets MAGA as the 2020 election nears. So, let me just illustrate this for people, okay? At the same time that the FBI is openly mobilizing against American citizens that support a former president of the United States, as that's happening, okay, and they've already put people in jail for decades for January 6th, as that's real. Well, that's what's called real, okay? People believe that are supposedly fighting on the truth and MAGA side that somehow there's a plan. and how this is all a movie. I'll tell you right now, ain't no movie for Joe Biggs and Tario and Rel and all the other guys that sat there in solitary and sit there and rot in prison right now away from their families. And as this is happening, as they are about to put the guy who these people support in prison, they're getting ready to put more of his supporters, and really anybody that threatens the system, in prison. And it's on the cover of magazines that are now telling you American citizens who got behind the most popular president of my lifetime are the enemy, are the domestic terrorists, are the ones that are now being openly targeted by the federal government. And I got people that are so delusional, they shut their devices off yesterday, as if that protected them from something. Let me tell you how delusional people were, and are, by the way, okay? And if you have this sickness, I am begging you, right now, I'm begging you to take a step back, grab some discernment. Remember that as all of this progresses, you are in charge of you, and you can make decisions that affect you and those directly around you. So you're not going to want to fall for a bunch of Bobby bullshit, okay? You're going to want to know when to make the proper chess moves in life. If you watched yesterday and you watched when Tucker was talking, now is not the time to be drunk all the time. Now is the time to really buckle down and figure out what's the plan, Stan, because they fully and completely intend on putting Trump in prison in the next year. And once they put him in prison, it's open season on everybody else. And there are cover stories about it. There are cover stories about it. They're letting you know. Okay, pulling it back. We're pulling it back. So as I stated yesterday, and if you watched, after the emergency broadcast system thing, more people just went even further into their mental illness. They were mad at me for being right. Or, here's another thing that happens. Sometimes the delusion is so large and real that just like in the hysteria surrounding the COVID-19 84 nightmare, and those people that constantly think they're sick or there's something wrong, etc. People actually said in the comments, right before or right after, I felt sick, I wanted to throw up, my chest hurt. Oh, okay. So again, imaginary, delusional reactions to nothing that have been psychologically triggered inside of you to want to believe that for some reason triggers that, and then you're mad at me. Okay? Or you don't like my style. Oh, some people just don't know as much as you, Jason. Listen. Guys, I'm not that bright. Like, I'm not saying I'm a moron, but brain surgery, maybe out of the realm of what I could do. Maybe not. Who knows? Maybe if I really applied myself. Rocket science, know the basics, no more than the average person out there. Would I be the guy patenting things? Would I be the next Dennis Bushnell with like nuclear reactor patents in space? Probably not. Okay? Pretty, average guy. I just don't like being lied to. I don't like being treated like a child. I'm situationally aware when I see actual threats. And this right here, this is a huge, in-your-face actual threat. And I ain't MAGA. And I ain't never been. But let me posit something to you. I'm on Red Voice Media. Oh, right wing. Right wing. Alt-right, Jason. Probably a neo-Nazi under there. Probably a big-time white supremacist. Because we always talk about race here. That's really what we like to focus on. Then, I've spoken 5 times at the Reawaken America tour. I've had Clay Clark on a multitude of times. Clay is an actual threat to these people. All right? Now, whether you like Clay or you hate Clay, and quite frankly, some of the people Clay has on, and some of the things that maybe he believes or promotes, I don't like either. Okay? I think, like, when we get to these type of things, like what was just going on here with the EBS, I have no idea what his position was on it, but hopefully he didn't hype it up, and he kept it to his Harari stuff, etc. But the argument will be, oh, I'm associated with him. Doesn't matter that every single time I've given a presentation, not once have I talked about Donald Trump. Have I talked about making America great again? Have I promoted the Republican Party? Well, it wouldn't matter that my presentations heavily criticize Elon Musk, who's supposedly the next big domestic terrorist, but really their front man as the next savior, right? But, I don't care what lists I'm on. Quite frankly, I never have. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. People have always asked me throughout the years, especially with the 9/11 stuff. We're going to get to that also today, because really the meat and potatoes of this baby. I got a ton of stories here. Not so many videos, couple videos we might get to, but one big video, which is the Secret Rulers of the World video from like 20 plus years ago with John Ronson and Trio TV. And I believe, I know Alex Jones is in it. I'm pretty sure that David Icke may also be featured, but really it's the Bohemian Grove story behind the scenes of Alex's infiltration, if you've never seen it. And here's a big thing that's bothering me. Okay? The Guardian, which at times, especially during the Bush administration, did some good work. One of the worst still. The author of this, and it's like, is this person really named this? Amelia Gentleman. Has a Twitter. The whole night. Here's Amelia. Amelia Gentleman. What a name. Okay. Escaping the rabbit hole. The conspiracy theorist who abandoned their dangerous beliefs. I mean, he was just a musician that got caught up. It's a long, extensive hit piece. We're going to read the whole thing. And I'm going to break it down for you. And one of the reasons that I got so upset when the QAnon started spitting out, because it was unfounded, it was hearsay, it was just stuff that was straight up made up, easily debunkable. And I'm going to show you one of those easily debunkable things right now, okay? And the lunacy, and just how over the top done people are with this QAnon crap. Like they're gone, man. They're done. They can't get themselves out of the fact that the real deal's going down, and they got nothing but hopium. Okay. So this person or people or whatever, I clicked on the account. Let's click on the account so you guys can see. I don't know who they are. Apparently they're storm chasers, Stormy J, and Rambo Anon. Now, I do not know these people. Maybe they're nice guys. I don't know. This is low-level, no intelligence nonsense. Who remembers when Rob, the White House journalist, his videos prove he is a White House journalist. No, I've seen no evidence of whatever that is. Gave us this clip of Joe Biden, the president, carrying his own bags through the airport and then loading into an Uber. It's clearly not Joe Biden. Clearly not Joe Biden. So a blurry video that's like not even standard definition, I'm going to show it to you on the other side of this thing, is proof that Trump is in control, everything's a movie. Seems completely normal. Nothing to see here. Move along. This couldn't possibly be 100% irrefutable evidence that patriots are in control. Like, what planet are you on? They're putting people 20 plus years in prison for not being at the Capitol, but being involved with the organization they said led an insurrection that didn't happen. couldn't be proof we are watching a central casting actor in a movie. Just wow. And when you see the video, again, if you have any kind of discernment, I mean, I know I've got 20/20 vision. I've got actually great sight. The blur in my one eye is gone. I can see very well. Not everybody has that. I'm not perfect. But it is clear the person in the video is not Joe Biden. But these idiots say it is. I mean, it's whoa. Word from our sponsor. Back after this. Thumbs it up, subscribe, and share.
Attention Americans, breaking news. Biden's dangerous plan for a digital dollar is underway. Don't be fooled. It won't benefit you. Take action now. The Federal Reserve phased deployment of FedNow began on July 1st, 2023. Be prepared. This may catch many off guard. Your hard-earned assets are in jeopardy. But there's a simple legal tax loophole to opt out of the digital dollar. Reach out to American Alternative Assets for a free wealth protection guide and discover how to safeguard your wealth with gold and silver IRAs against a failing dollar and volatile markets. Visit protectfrombiden.com. This invaluable guide provides precise steps to transfer your IRA or 401k into precious metals without any tax consequences. Be smart. Don't let Biden force you into using the government's new digital dollar. Visit protectfrombiden.com to get your free guide and get started. Again, that's protectfrombiden.com.
So, no arrests, no secret squirrel indictments, no white hats, no anything. That's all not real. Doesn't stop people like this from trying to sell you on the John 100% you're a fan of your we're watching the movie. We're watching the movie. Like, couldn't be lower level of intelligence here. Okay, this couldn't be possibly proof of a powers. I mean, have you asked yourself yet, why isn't that Joe? Look, it's a businessman. That's all it is. Like we're going to watch it, okay? Is there a resemblance here? I've also seen the video of the old man like whipping a child. Very disturbing video that they try to say is Joe Biden. It's not Joe Biden either. Okay. So like, yeah, let's take the thing out here. Okay, so we didn't even follow him. So like, first of all, let's look at the hair before he even turns around. Way more hair than the plugs Joe Biden has right now. Oh yeah, he's carrying stuff. Joe Biden can't talk, let alone carry stuff at this point. He falls over. Okay? So look, let's stop. Does it resemble Biden? Sure. This is a 320 by 240 video. That's not Joe Biden. Okay? Not Joe Biden. So there's an 8-second video out there. It's clearly not Joe. Okay? Now, could this be somebody? And by the way, it looks like somebody may have messed with the face here as well once they get there. But that's when it gets really in there, you can tell that's not Joe Biden. If you had a full high definition video of a stumbly, mumbly guy, okay, like maybe you could say, okay, that's interesting. And number two, the guy's also being escorted. So who he is, what he is, I'm not telling you. I am going to say that these people are all in black going to an Uber. So there's one guy escorting him to his thing, carrying these bags. Let me just repeat it, not Joe Biden. You know, it's just ridiculous. Like for them to try to say that this is some kind of proof of being an actor in charge of Joe Biden and Trump's in control. Ridiculous. Now, do presidents have body doubles? Sure. Okay. I see that looks like Joe. Listen, it's got a resemblance to Joe Biden. I don't want to bring up the Whip Kid one either, because that's it. Let's see, Jan Isherwood says, as a portrait artist, that ain't Bojo. How we doing, Jan? Good to see everybody out there. Too young. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's Biden a decade ago, somebody cropping out a video. Even then, that's kind of questionable, because a decade ago, he still would have been vice president. He still would have had Secret Service with him. And maybe those are a couple Secret Service agents. I don't know. But that doesn't look like a genuine video of Joe Biden to me. If it were a genuine video of Joe Biden, which I do not think it is, it would be from years and years and years and years ago, and it proves nothing. But these people, like trusting plan people that get behind this ridiculousness of yesterday that bled into like, I don't even know how to say it. It sucks. People like I love and I respect, people I like, people I work with at my other gig. It's like, guys, they're arresting regular American citizens and they're demonizing anybody that questions the narrative. All right. Okay. So that brings me to this big article. We're going to read it together, break it down. Okay. Escape from the rabbit hole, the conspiracy theorist who abandoned his dangerous beliefs. And this isn't the first time this has happened. They love it when somebody recants, daring to question the narrative. And the thing is that these people often do lose it, and they go well beyond the realm of reasonability. And when you read the first paragraph here, this is really where I get upset. Okay. Like Brentley struggles to explain why he used to believe that a cabal of evil satanic pedophiles was working to establish a new world order. He pauses, looks sheepish, and says, I cringe at all of this now. So, lots to say about that first paragraph. Lots to associate it with the QAnon nonsense. When you're talking about subject matter as dark as Satanism, pedophilia, power, global governance, and a quote-unquote new world order, you got to take it slow. Everything that gets jam-packed into that one paragraph, took me 2+ hours to explain the best I could, at the best length I could, in Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined. And I took it real slow. And you notice that the occultism, that darkness, and the pedophilia that I expose in that film is almost 2 hours deep into the movie. Now, I get it. Nowadays, a 2+ hour documentary, that's tough for people to watch. I encourage people to watch those type of... King of the World by TruthStream Media. TruthStream just dropped another video out there talking about the fact that they're trying to ban you from being able to film in public state parks that are now being nationalized. You don't have the right to film. They're going after people judiciously for daring to film there and then putting it online, even though they're not making any commercial money. It doesn't matter. I mean, again, we're in lunacy town. My point is that, like, that paragraph right there, no matter how true it is, because I do believe this is an evil plan, and whether or not Satan is at the helm of it, we're pretty agnostic here. True Satanism, if you actually look into it, and a lot of Satanists will tell you this, is really just a self-serving religion of believing in oneself, right? And the kind of New Age introspection that most people would find positive until you take it to the sociopathic and really psychopathic level that Satanists do, right? And then there are those that take it the next step. They say they're atheists, right? And they're going along with this, they are their own God thing, but then they practice occult rituals to supposedly mock Christianity. But then there are other people that are really into the occult and occult practices, and that's real. I mean, it's well documented and real. So well documented that when I watched the NASA channel, and it wasn't a documentary on Jack Parsons. It was on Frank. Man, it's killing me. I can't remember his last name. Frank, let's see. Jack Parsons. Frank, let's see. Frank Molina. See, my mind goes things. It's on Frank Molina. Okay? And it just totally goes into the fact that Parsons was totally into the occult. Modern day rocketry, Oppenheimer, the Bhagavad Gita. So the one sentence that just tries to discredit everything, and the term New World Order, if you've been paying attention, been around for over a century. Books written about it over a century. In the vision of what we're seeing today, a collectivist body of total and complete social control. It's what it is. So I read that sentence and it just dismisses it right out of hand. And one of the ways it's very easy to dismiss is not only guys like this that totally recant, but the people that fall for everything. People shutting their phones off yesterday at 2:20 Eastern to stop the evil nanotech from being activated and the zombies of your head to explode, or the evil Illuminati ninja assassins from taking hold and activating. Oh boy. Utterly absurd. Utterly and completely absurd. So let's get back to this, because it just goes on from here. But that's why when the QAnon nonsense began, and I started hearing adrenochrome everywhere, I was like, this isn't a good thing. This is going to end terribly. This is bad. This isn't helping. It's directing people away from real things that still matter, like 9/11 truth and accountability and Homeland Security and the fusion centers, and now them putting American citizens on the cover of Newsweek, letting you know the FBI is coming to arrest MAGA folks. How dare I be concerned about the real stuff? For 15 years, Lee collected signs that so-called Illuminati overlords were controlling global events. He convinced himself that secret societies were running politics, banks, religious institutions, and the entertainment industry, and that most terrorist attacks were actually government-organized ritual sacrifices. So now again, you question 9/11, you question the first World Trade Center bombing, you question Oklahoma City, okay? And I mean, I ought to play the Oklahoma City thing because it's the craziest thing. I think it was the governor's brother, Frank Keating's brother, that dedicated a book about Tom McVeigh to the Knights of the Secret Circle. And in the book, Tom McVeigh, not Tim, blows up the Oklahoma Federal Building. You know what? It sounds too fantastical to believe that, right? So, Knights of the Secret Circle, and then I'll do Tom McVeigh. And then I'll do book. See what we get here, guys. Let's see, not the mathematically. The book, yep, here it is called The Final Jihad. All right, so let's see. Let's bring that up. There it is right there. Oh, I don't want to hit that, but let's see. Tom McVeigh, let's see. The Final Jihad, Tom McVeigh. Let's see who wrote it. Okay. Here it is right here. Yes, it's Martin Keating. Here it is. Martin Keating. Now, in the 1996, The Final Jihad, okay, he dedicates this to the Knights of the Secret Circle. And I could have swore that that this was like a predecessor of it. Maybe this is the hardcover, June 1st, 1996. Let's see. Because I'm pretty sure, what do we got? 95 is the World Trade Center? Yes. Yeah, 4 years before. No, that's something different. We'll have to look at that. But, you know what? We got Invisible Empire up here. That's what we're going to come back to. We're going to come back to the McVeigh thing because, again, you question that, you're a bad guy. You're bad. You're bad if you question the Oklahoma City bombing. Back after this word from our sponsor. Thumbs up, subscribe, and share. We're going down real rabbit holes and exposing the fake ones on today's program. Where are you? Mike, there you are.
When I invented MyPillow, my passion was to help each and every one of you. And 20 years later, all of your support is what keeps us going. Because of you, we've been able to create thousands of USA jobs and help millions get the best sleep ever. To thank you, my employees and I are bringing you a limited edition MyPillow. The Giza Elegance MyPillow is made with my patented adjustable fill, the most amazing cotton, and a 2-inch pipe gusset. It has 4 custom loft levels, machine washable and dryable, and you get my 60-day money-back guarantee and 10-year warranty.
Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get your limited edition 20th anniversary MyPillow queen size. Retails for $69.98, now only $19.98. That's right, get a queen size MyPillow for only $19.98.
From all of us here at MyPillow, thanks America!
All right, we are back. So this is from Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined. I hope that, you know what, maybe I should just look it up, because now I do have a hard drive now attached that I can just get the high def and bring it on over. In fact, why don't we do that? We'll do it live while we do it.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Yeah, we'll do that. Of course, man, what is, oh, okay, that's why. That hard drive's a plugged-in hard drive, so it goes to sleep sometimes. Hate that. There it is right there. Okay, boom and boom. So, great. That way I don't have to do that. What is it? 118. And again, you got to take people slow, but in the first paragraph, you say something like that, and then immediately you're discredited. All right, so let's see. We got it to 118. There's that. So it's got to be a little bit more. Oh, why is this one longer than that one? What got cut out? Huh. That's a little weird. It's a little weird. I don't know if I like that. Maybe not. Maybe I was just going a little too quick. There we go. No. There's definitely an extra minute in there. Oh, that's right. Alex Jones does an ad in the middle of the movie on this one, on this feed. Okay, so here we go.
August 2nd. But on the 4th, nothing happened. There was absolutely nothing, he said.
So right there, what we're talking about, and why can't we...
We know for a...
Come on. Sorry, folks. Here we go. That just crashed that. Okay, see how that happens? Just crashed it. I don't know why. Shouldn't have crashed it. Come on, man. I'm going to try it again.
For a fact now that NSA and CIA both falsified their reports up to Johnson on that day to make it look as if there had been an attack.
And what he's talking about there is the false flag in Gulf of Tonkin. Again, you question these type of things with your government and you're a bad guy.
Upon the fall of communism, a new threat had to be established in order to maintain their military-industrial complex and keep the people in fear of invisible enemies. More modern examples of this have been used not only to start conflicts abroad, but to instill fear in large populations in order to demonize groups and further erode civil liberties.
Your papers.
The majority of people still believe that Timothy McVeigh was a right-wing extremist who bombed the Oklahoma City building with a Ryder truck because he was upset with the government. People close to the event told a very different story.
A local congressman believes that convicted bomber Timothy McVeigh and his accused co-conspirator Terry Nichols are not the only ones involved.
The Oklahoma State Representative Charles Key produced a videotape featuring witnesses who claim to have seen Timothy McVeigh with another man the morning of the bombing.
He was wearing a ball cap. Timothy McVeigh had his on backwards, which just like this. It was on his head. The other gentleman had his on like this.
In fact, the FBI had actively pursued John Doe No. 2 in its initial investigation, then denied his existence altogether. There were also multiple reports that explosives were found inside the Murrah building.
The Justice Department is reporting that a second explosive device has been found in the AP Murrah building in downtown Oklahoma City. Mike, you're still with us, aren't you?
Yes, I am, and I might tell you in addition to that, in fact, what we were told at the scene a few minutes ago was that, in fact, 2 different explosive devices were found in addition to the one that went off.
The second explosive was found and defused. The third explosive that was found, and they are working on right now as we speak, I understand, both the second and third explosives, if you can imagine this, were larger than the first.
So here you go, right in front of your face. You're looking at media reports on the scene of explosive devices inside the building that aren't supposed to be there because it's supposed to be a truck bomb. Okay? So now we're going to show you video of those bomb squads going in, and then the guy who's the brother of the guy that wrote that book that we just talked about, okay, The Final Jihad, tells you there were bombs inside the building. And he's the governor of the state. But you question that kind of stuff. No. Don't you understand? These were white nationalists. These were domestic terrorists. Tim McVeigh is like the predecessor to all this, the inspiration.
Bomb squads were actually caught on video pulling into the building to retrieve these devices.
They'll back that trailer down there, and the bomb squad folks will go in, and they will use that trailer. You see the bucket on the back there, sort of, this is how they would transport the explosive device away from this populated area to try to do something with it.
I just took a look down the street at the Murrah building again. I see another bomb truck going, so apparently they're going to try to get out that third bomb that's been talked about.
This was even confirmed by the governor at the time, Frank Keating.
One device was deactivated. Apparently there's another device, and obviously whatever did the damage to the Murrah building was a tremendous, very sophisticated explosive device.
Members of the ATF who would have normally been in the building were tipped off prior to the bombing.
You know, later in this article that we're going to get to, they talk about 7/7 and these drills. I mean, that's the thing. You know, people jumped on the drill thing. Oh, FEMA's involved in the EAS drill. Gotta be a conspiracy. Drills are often used as covers, but that doesn't mean every time they do a drill, some kind of event is going to go off. Jade Helm would be a great example, again, about hysteria surrounding drills. Should we be aware? Yes. Should we be making predictions that people are going to turn into zombies because they have their cell phones on from an EAS drill? Absolutely not. That's how they discredit you on the road to, again, demonization, then persecution, prosecution, imprisonment. It's important.
He saw what appeared to be a police bomb squad truck near the Murrah building 2 hours before the blast.
It had a shield on the side of the door, and it said bomb disposal or bomb squad below it, and I really found that interesting.
Another witness who spoke to ABC News on the condition of anonymity will tell the grand jury tomorrow he was told by an ATF official agents working in the building had been warned in advance not to come to work.
He just came out and told me that the ATF wasn't in the building that day. They'd been tipped by their pagers not to come to work, which I was flabbergasted.
McVeigh would even claim in a letter written to his sister, which was published by the New York Times, that he was actually recruited for black operations, which included smuggling drugs into the United States, as well as assassinations. One may brush this off as the ravings of a madman. However, McVeigh was filmed at the Camp Grafton military facility in North Dakota on August 3, 1993. McVeigh's official records state that he was discharged over a year prior from the Army Reserve in May of 1992. Perhaps even more interesting is that Camp Grafton was specializing in training troops in explosives and demolitions at the time. When all was said and done, the security tapes reported to have captured the entire thing on video were rounded up and classified. In 2009, they were finally released, and magically none of them caught the bombing. The excuse being they were all having their tapes changed at that exact moment.
At that exact moment, we were just changing the tapes, everybody. You're kooky for thinking anything. The Guardian says you are kook-a-look. You think anything different.
This event would be labeled domestic extremism, which was used to demonize critics of world government, militias, and create fear within the populace.
Boom. Boom. setting large precedents. That 30 years ago, these people are extremely patient. Think about the infrastructure that has now been built on top of events like that one. Okay? Reality. This is why this is Reality Rants. Okay? Now, next one. So, within 2 paragraphs, we're at New World Order, Illuminati, satanic pedophiles. They get, don't worry, UFOs, Kubrick, and the moon landing all next in the first sentence. He was also inclined to believe in UFOs. Oh. And that Stanley Kubrick staged and directed the filming of the moon landing. He saw satanic symbols in the London 2012 Olympic opening ceremony and spent most of his time discussing these theories with an online community of fellow believers. But in 2018, something shifted, and he began to find the new wave of conspiracy theories increasingly implausible. I was sick of it. I felt I can't deal with hearing this anymore because it's no longer what I believe. So I just logged off the old internet ski and hutch. Goodbye. So I forget which one the 2012 Olympic ceremony was, but they put symbolism in them all the time. 2012 Olympic ceremony, and I'll just type in occult. What will I get from Google? Let's see if Google treats this one seriously. You never know at this point. You might have to go to the DuckDuckGo. What is going on here? Like, really? Man, I'll tell you what. If this computer ends up trashing the bed, that's going to be an issue. So Google, let's see. We're going to try it again. Did it crash again? Of course it did. Why wouldn't it? So we'll do it one more time. Olympic ceremony 2012. Just nothing? Just is Google down? Bueller? We'll go to DuckDuckGo and see if that comes up. Yeah, DuckDuckGo is good. Is Google being attacked right now? I mean, my YouTube seems to be working, but yeah, Google doesn't look good. Weird. The almighty and powerful. Okay, Olympic 2012 ceremony. 3rd time's the charm, right? Occult. That came up no problem. No problem. Let's see. Now, you know, I've talked about some of these Super Bowl things. Is that the 2012? Nope. Tiny Pic's gone. It's tough because DuckDuckGo still really isn't there. But here's the occult symbolism. What's this? In the opening and closing ceremonies. Vigilant Citizen, they do good work. They do good work. They got their little... they do have. They have one of the little occult hills. Okay, and there's the men in the top hats. Okay, that's very Masonic. Peasants of the country worked in hellish conditions to bring the reality to the elite vision. Yep, it does look that way. Let's see. Unfolding pandemonium is detected. Oh yeah, this is where it gets really weird. This is where they paraded around like all these kids in beds and had these dark, evil like demons of Lord Voldemort. I do remember that was creepy. Let's see if we can get. I wonder if this is still down. We'll try it. We'll do Voldemort Olympic. I was thinking that was going to be it, but boy, time flies. It's over 10 years ago. There we go. Fact check. Giant puppet. Not death figure holding a needle. It sure looks like a death figure holding a needle, though. Where is it? There it is. Yes. So, as you can see, there it is. It is Lord Voldemort. But it was really creepy. Really, really super creepy. That was a creepy one. But yeah, you point that out. You're a conspiracy theorist, and you have terrible beliefs. So first, we're not even 3 paragraphs deep into this, and it's just over the top. Over the top. We're about to take another break. I do want to remind people, all of my documentary films are free, including the one we just watched a segment of, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined. Second hour is free over at rvmrumble.com as we head into the last segment of the first hour. I hope you did check it out over there yesterday. Another part of my MK Ultra series from many years ago that I think is still extremely relevant. It's going to be relevant 5 years from now. And that's the kind of work that I like to do, you know. And the bottom line is I've got a ton of other stories I want to hit today on top of this. I also want to hit the old school trio documentary on, you know, the satanic secret elite. I want to break this down. We'll see what we can get done. It's only a 2-hour show. Thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. We'll be back after this word from our sponsor.
We interrupt today's programming to bring unfortunate news. Biden's dangerous plan for a digital dollar is underway. Don't be fooled. It won't benefit you. So take action now. The Federal Reserve's phased deployment of FedNow began on July 1st, 2023. Be prepared. This may catch many off guard and put your hard-earned assets in jeopardy. But here's the good news. There's a simple legal tax loophole to opt out of the digital dollar. Speak to someone at American Alternative Assets for a free wealth protection guide and discover how to safeguard your wealth with gold and silver IRAs against a failing dollar and volatile markets. Dial 833, the number 2 USA Gold. Yes, call now, 833-287-2465. This invaluable guide provides precise steps to transfer your IRA or 401k into precious metals without any tax consequences. Don't let Biden force you into using the government's new digital dollar. Call 833, the number 2 USA Gold. Yes, call now, 833-287-2465. Act swiftly, 833-287-2465.
Thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. Let's get through this. Let's read this because it is something that needs. I knew I was going to get off into tangents today. I knew it because this article bothered me so much. Now Lee is trying to help the other conspiracy theorists to question their worldview. He will address a conference in Poland on disinformation in October. Thought crime. And has launched a podcast unpicking why he held these beliefs so fervently and why he was so deluded. Amiable and articulate, Lee is disarmingly willing to admit that he got things spectacularly wrong. Amiable and articulate. Jesus. You're never articulate when you're on the other side, but boy, you bend the knee to the mainstream. Oh, all of a sudden you're amiable as well. All positive qualities. But it is still challenging to have a conversation with him about his abandoned belief system. Most of these theories seem so preposterous that the process of trying to understand them becomes exhausting. When I strain to follow the logic, he says, don't try to get me to make it make sense, because it doesn't. This is why I get so embarrassed about what I believed. You just buy into this ideology and think that's the way the world works. His reasons for abandoning the truther movement, and notice I never like using the term truther. I always tell people I'm not a truther, I'm looking for the truth. Truthers believe official accounts of big events are designed to conceal the truth from the public. So again, they lump everything together, and if you question something like the Nord Stream pipeline, or you question weapons of mass destruction, or you question chemical attacks that never were in Syria, then you're lumped in with people that go adrenochrome everywhere. You see? That go, turn off your phone. Turn off your phone. The nanobots are coming. They are also hard to slot into conventional worldviews. Lee veers between feeling ashamed and amused by his own convictions while also pointing out that it would be a mistake to dismiss these ideas with an impatient eye roll because they are very dangerous. Can't just dismiss them. Can't just dismiss them. Versions of the same ideas have gained greater currency in the years since he stepped away from them. In the U.S., the influence of QAnon has shifted from the fringe to the mainstream. See, they brought QAnon into the mainstream on purpose because they wanted something to what? take your attention away from the realities and then discredit anybody that was pointing out real stuff. Just go QAnon. Oh, DARPA's involved in the hate and lie shots? QAnon. Biological laboratories exist? QAnon? Sounds like some QAnon stuff. Whole bunch of QQ. What? And social media has been flooded with the group's misinformation. Listen, social media is flooded with the mainstream misinformation more than anything else. That's the truth. Come on. A 2020 Ipsos poll found that 17% of Americans believe that a group of Satan-worshiping elites who run a child sex ring are trying to control politics and media. Look. When you look at the child, again, that's why I waited. That's why I wait. We got to do it, right? We're still in the first hour. We got to do it. We're going to do it live and explain to you that people in high political positions are, in fact, into weird pedophilia. See, that's Bohemian Grove, which in the second hour when we do the trio thing, book's over 100 years old, has the owl on the cover, explains the occultism, explains... how this came over from Eastern philosophies. We've got the greatest men's party on earth. Also explains the occultism, has Pan on the cover, all real. You wonder why drag queen story time's so popular? Well, let me tell you, the Grovers over here, they knew all about it. All about it. All male club, just dudes getting in lipstick. And whatever, do your thing as an adult. Just understand how we got from where we were to where we are today, because these are the people in charge. All right? And, I'm going to play this clip. And when I talk about the Grove, I also talk about the penchant for hiring male escorts and these people being closeted homosexuals. I just want to let people understand and know that I don't care if you're gay. The point is, the vast majority of these guys supposedly are right-wingers and Christian conservatives, and they fleece the public who have no idea about this stuff and have for a very long time. And then on top of fleecing the public and going with male escorts, okay, some of them abuse children. You question that, and you're the bad guy. So let's do it. We're doing it live. See, there's some of the plays that they have. That's Bush. There's Bush and Reagan. There's St. John of Maplenock as we do this. This is Don Imus talking about the Bohemian Grove. All right, so we're going to play this. We're totally going to do it. Let's do it. Oh, you know what? We're not doing it here. I forgot. Now that we know where it is, it's 158. Let's bring it up on the movie again. Okay, again, we're doing it live. So right around there, right?
Horrific screams.
Oh, no, see, that's Skull and Bones, and you can see some of their little horrific screams. That's really nice. Because, again, they're very loving. They got the Skull and Bones thing. This is nepotism.
Yale University.
There's Skull and Bones. Let's bring it back.
It is being promoted as the next generation tool for video gaming.
This is the chip technology, by the way. They're trying to make it so these invasive chips, again, that's why the Muskernuts is doing the brain chip thing, is going to be cool and hip.
Sega developer Yu Suzuki plans on developing gaming technology using implantable RFIDs. He states, people that have some sort of chips in their bodies, to be able to keep track of vital signs. So it doesn't have to be a scary thing. But you could put a sensor here, a bit like the Matrix, as he points to his arm. It's not really something only in the future. Some people already have them, chips in their bodies.
And that's why I waited an hour and 50 plus to get to this part of the film, because I understand how dark this is. Now this movie's, 13 years old, believe it or not, like that, 13 plus years old, where some of this stuff is now blasé.
Suzuki is correct. It has never been easier to order a microchip online and implant it under your skin. Microchips implanted in your hand, arm, or shoulder is just the beginning. Some have already taken implantable brain chips that may enable the blind to see again, the deaf to hear, and much, much more, including the ability to download information directly into the brain and instantly communicate with anyone in the world, creating a worldwide mind.
It's very interesting that the way that the New World Order is going is moving towards a system that is identical to that, whether it's going to be an implantable microchip, an RFID, a thumb scan, whether it's going to be some sort of a tattoo.
Imagine a planet where every human being is required to be chipped at birth. This would be the final tool implemented in a command and control world government system.
And look, through bio-nanotech, and we've shown it here, you don't necessarily even need that because it's been micronized, which is even scarier, and it can be manipulated via magnetic waves. We've shown you the RAND documents on it. But then that gets diluted into turn your phone off,
in which the elite rule the masses with total control of their lives.
This is, of course, a terrible predicament for those of us who are convinced that this system is slowly but surely destroying this country and has to be changed. But we can't count on the elected presidents to do it, and we can't count on the elected Congress to do it. We somehow have to mobilize the technological resources of the internet to create some kind of new political force in this country.
And as that was happening, it got hijacked by the QAnon nonsense. See how that worked? And now they demonize a large swath of people. And they censor the internet. And then they throttle people like myself or just outright ban them. Or they don't allow us to make money. There's no fair game when you're trying to tell the actual truth. They've corralled that movement into one of disinfo and misinfo. Okay?
So is there anything else about the ruling class we should know? Politicians, business leaders, and media figures are often portrayed as pillars of morality while they describe themselves as Christian conservatives. Nothing could be further from the truth. In reality, many of the elite are groomed at a young age to take part in occult rituals. Those who attend Yale are indoctrinated into the Order of Skull and Bones, an elite secret society cloaked as a fraternal order.
Yale University is 300 years old this year, and were you to visit its campus, you would see that it still has exotic clubhouses, which look like tombs where Yale's legendary secret societies meet. Their prestige and importance have largely evaporated, but the rituals are still a secret. And so when we heard that some enterprising characters had managed to spy on the famous Skull and Bones Society, we couldn't resist.
Skull and Bones, people say it's a fraternity at Yale University, but it's really a postgraduate organization. So it was founded in 1832. And it's not like a normal fraternity. People don't pledge. These people choose who they want to come. So they do the recruiting. They recruit 15 people every year. People who they see are going to be powerful people in the future. So they're recruited when they're a junior in college. A lot of these people come from really wealthy and influential families because they know that this person has the resources to then elevate them to a position of power that can benefit the club.
The video shows the neophytes, or initiates, kissing a skull, then performing a mock human sacrifice. Horrific screams caught on tape include chants of, "The devil equals death, death equals the devil."
True. Famous alums include Senators John Kerry and John Chafee, to name two, cabinet secretaries such as Averell Harriman, and 3 presidents, William Taft, George Bush, and George W. Bush, who's been reluctant to talk about Skull and Bones.
Does it still exist? The thing is so secret that I'm not even sure it still exists.
Former Skull and Bones members and current members have been presidents, heads of the CIA, senators, heads of business. I mean, huge, huge corporations. These people have the network that brings them to such a position of power that most people could only dream of.
Bush
If you're like me and you want to be prepared for the unexpected,
that's where the wellness company's emergency medical kit comes
over
in.
40% of Americans say that they would avoid a doctor or a hospital unless it was a catastrophic situation.
Medical emergency kits with...
The kit contains 8 potentially life-saving medications for you to keep on hand in the event of natural disasters, supply chain shortages, medical emergencies, or like an apocalyptic situation. These are the actual medications that you would need in the event of certain situations. So they've got emergency antibiotics, antivirals, antiparasitics.
And I'm sorry I was muted for this last moment right there, guys. Sometimes I cough and I hit the damn button and I don't see that I hit the damn button. It's jackassery at its finest. We were smooth sailing throughout the show, as excited as I've been. Basically, all as I told you was the second hour is over at rvmrumble.com. That we're about to go to more evidence that these people are, into the occult, that are into male escorts, are into dressing in drag, and are into abusing children. And I waited how long to do that? I mean, I waited almost 2 hours into that film, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, which is free. And then if you want to support the broadcast, again, I didn't plug it once in the first hour of the show. redvoicemedia.com/uncensored. That's how you support work like this.
Bush would run,
which I think stands the test of time. Just me. All right, YouTube, you know the drill. We're going to leave you. We're going to come back. We're going to, man, I literally, guys, have like 20 stories that I wanted to cover on top of this one. I knew I was going to get emotional while I read this, but, I guess that's just the way the cookie crumbles. We do what we can with what we got, and I love you guys for supporting me. So YouTube, we'll see